Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in, everybody. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Tuesday, August 30th. Hope you're well. Got some great news with regards to HEXO today. We had some news with regards to Mike Tyson's 2.0 brand, Tyson 2.0, and they just signed a deal, an exclusive partnership in Canada to produce those products. So very exciting. Going to get started with today's live stream momentarily. We'll give it another 30 seconds or so for people to jump on. If you are just joining the stream, welcome. If you could smash the like and subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Help support me in the channel, I would appreciate it. We'll get started here in about 15 seconds. All right, I see we have quite a few people joining us. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the live chat, and let's go. So today, HEXO Corp announced an exclusive partnership with Mike Tyson's company, and the company's name is Tyson 2.0, and it was selected, HEXO was selected as the top choice in Canada. So HEXO truly is an MJ company fit for a king, and this is no surprise. We know that, there was so much FUD going around, with HEXO, and this is just a prime example of how well known the brand is, and this HEXO as a brand isn't going anywhere. This is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity, I believe, in MJ and in our lifetime, really, to be honest with you. But we'll go through this. I know a lot of people probably already read this, so we'll go through it real quickly here, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on this. But this is really good to see, in my opinion, and just a testament to the amount of awareness and the quality, the brand, HEXO itself, right? So, but I didn't see this coming. Let me know in the comments below if you saw this coming. I was actually looking at this the other day. I was looking at the website. You can just go to tyson20.com, and I'm not going to dive into that for the sake of this video. I want to try to keep it as short as possible, but you can go check out all of that stuff on the website. But essentially, all that will be coming to Canada. So HEXO to produce Mike Tyson's new MJ brand, Tyson 2.0 in Canada. Exclusive partnership brings innovative line of MJ flour, pre-rolls, and edibles to Canada, expected to be available this fall. And as we know, I did a video on my channel here, and I was talking about Charlie Bowman. He had a couple of interviews, and he said they have some new exciting products coming to Canada, and this is obviously probably something that he was referring to, but we'll go through this a little quicker here. So today, leading producer in high-quality MJ products is pleased to announce that the company, HEXO, has entered into an exclusive partnership with Tyson 2.0, entrepreneur and MJ advocate Mike Tyson's recently formed MJ company. Under the agreement, HEXO will produce Tyson 2.0 products in Canada, including 2.0 full range of flour, pre-rolls, edibles, and vapes. HEXO produced lines which launch across Canada this fall. We're delighted that HEXO has been chosen as the exclusive Canadian producer for Tyson 2.0 brand, said Charlie Bowman, CEO of HEXO Corp. Our boutique cultivation capabilities and product offerings enable HEXO to elevate the consumer's MJ experience. With their broad product range from flour to straight edge pre-rolls to edibles, the Tyson 2.0 brand fits perfectly into HEXO's market leading portfolio. Our partnership with HEXO allows us to deliver Tyson's 2.0 vision of premier MJ experience to Canadians, noted Chad Bronstein, co-founder, president, and chairman of Tyson 2.0. Tyson 2.0 is dedicated to bringing innovative MJ products to market, and HEXO's strong reputation as leader in quality standards made them the obvious choice in Canada. Where all the haters at? They could have picked any other company in Canada, right? Yeah. Where's all the bankruptcy fudsters and now, right? You don't see them anywhere. We know that Canadians have been eager to try Tyson 2.0 line, and we're excited to have signed this deal with HEXO, the ideal partnership to produce high-quality, premium, and affordable MJ flour concentrates, consumables that we're known for, added Mike Tyson, Chief Brand Officer and co-founder of Tyson 2.0. And I've been saying this for a long time. HEXO is the Molson Coors of MJ, right? They figured out how to make it, how to make good quality MJ. It wasn't the greatest MJ, but they are the Molson Coors. Watch what happens when they get involved into the craft space. They're going to completely dominate, and this is just a testament to that, right? And we're going to see even more partnerships. We're going to see even more entry into the craft space. We know that, they have the Zenibus, Redecan as well, but it's only going to get bigger from here, in my opinion. And I'll be doing some product reviews on those. So as soon as these are available in Canada, you can expect some product reviews on my channel. So make sure you have the notification bell clicked. Also, shout out to Pal Group member Grayman. He posted this a little while ago. So if you haven't realized by now that the whole world is a stage, this is going to basically enlighten you, right? RZA's hat from the 2018 Wu-Tang appearance on Tiny Desk. Coincidence? So we got Wu-Tang appearance. We've got Mike Tyson partnering with HEXO. We've got Molson Coors. We've got Tilray. It's essentially Team Tilray, Afria, Redecan, Zenibus, 48 North, potentially MedMen. The writing's on the wall, folks. Like, don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. And looking at what HEXO's doing, and, you know, the media, the mainstream media just loves to feed you full of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Watch what's going on, use your brain, and come to the most logical conclusion. And the logical conclusion is HEXO is going to be a number 3 MJ company globally. Mark my words, you heard it here first. If I'm wrong, I'll make the video. But I can guarantee you 99.99% sure. I'm obviously never 100% sure, but I'm as close to 100% sure as possible that HEXO is going to dominate this space. And Tilray is going to be its partner in crime. They're going to be locking hands, number 1 and number 2 working together. Watch what happens over the next few years. Also, going back to a post that I made, I said, if you're a real MJ fan, there's no way you shouldn't be cheering for HEXO. HEXO is as pure as it gets. 100% of revenue comes from MJ, pure MJ products, nothing else. Tilray is a great company. They're a brand company. We're not a brand company. We're an MJ company. We are a cultivation company, and we have some really strong brands, but we're not a brand company, said the HEXO CEO, Charlie Bowman. And again, just goes back to just shows you the amount of, the brand awareness behind HEXO itself. It's not a brand company, but everybody wants a piece of HEXO because they know it's a king. And like I said, it truly is an MJ company fit for a king, and that king is Mike Tyson. We know he's one of the best athletes to ever play the sport, right? But I'll go back to Molson Coors. So many people, right? You get all these tribalistic nature, these people that are so tribal. That, you know, MJ's full of it, right? Same with crypto, but MJ's full of it because you get the really diehard fans, right? And they say, oh, they try HEXO's product, and they say, oh, that isn't the greatest bud or whatever, right? But did Molson Coors make the best beer? Did Budweiser make the best beer? No, it was mediocre beer, but they make the most money and they have the biggest market cap. And then what happens when you have all this money and you're swimming in it and you don't know what to do? Well, just go to molsoncoors.com, hover over brands, click on our brands, and look at all these brands that is now under the Molson Coors umbrella. Okay, so this is going to be something similar, I think, to what HEXO is going to be. HEXO is going to make MJ really, really well. The quality, consistency, the scale, the partnerships, the brand awareness, you know, everything that you need to be a successful company. And then they're going to get into the craft space, like I've been saying for years. But no one wanted to believe me back then because the mainstream media was trying to convince you otherwise, right? Because they want you to fail and I want you to succeed. And I tell the truth and they don't. So, but now we're getting into the craft space, folks. And this is just a partnership. This is just an exclusive partnership. What happens when, you know, they start acquiring other brands, right? Simply Lemonade. This is a partnership with Coca-Cola. So if Molson Coors is making Topo Chico hard seltzers, which is a Coca-Cola brand, and they're now making Simply Spiked Lemonade, which is a partnership with Coca-Cola, who do you think has the best chance of landing a deal for MJ-infused beverages if Coca-Cola decides to get into the space, right? We know that Tilray and HEXO are working together, number 1 and number 2. We know that Molson Coors and Coca-Cola are working together, number 1 and number 2 MJ company working with Molson Coors and Coca-Cola. It would only make sense, right? And why is Tyson signing this partnership with Canada? I thought the market in Canada wasn't even worth focusing on. You get the people in MJ or the MSO maximalists in the US who's saying that Canada is a dead market. Well, I very, very much disagree. We're going to potentially see a run rate of about $4 billion over the next 10 years. And it's a very important market, right? And these companies are going to get what it's like, and they're going to feel what it's like to operate under a legal blueprint and framework. And that's going to help them tremendously once they start to expand across the nation in the US and abroad, right? So mark my words, HEXO is going to be a top 3 MJ company globally. And very much like, when Apple got saved from Microsoft from bankruptcy in 1997, I personally think that Tilray and HEXO are going to remain 2 public independent companies. They're going to move on to shape this industry together, and HEXO is potentially going to be worth even more than Tilray. And I think it's going to play out very similarly, to be honest. Obviously 2 very different markets, but very much the same. It's a new, up-and-coming, burgeoning, emerging market, and we're going to see the leaders in the space go on to shape this industry. Just like I mentioned with Apple and Microsoft, they went on to shape the industry. They weren't first, and neither was HEXO, neither was Tilray. But I personally think that these 2 companies are poised for the most greatest success that we have ever seen. One of the greatest opportunities of our lifetime, right? If you miss the Amazons, if you miss the .coms, if you miss the crypto boom, the next big boom, in my opinion, is going to be from HEXO, Tilray, and the MJ space. There's going to be winners and losers. There's going to be a ton of winners south of the border as well. But you would be naive as hell to say that there's not going to be winners and losers both sides of the borders. But taking a look at the chart here, so we are down about 3.5% here, and that has to do with the weakness in SPY. So I mentioned yesterday that we confirmed a daily downtrend. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the EMAs on the S&P 500, which would mean headwinds and likely more downside for MJ. And we have support at 389. We hit a low of 396. So we could drop as low as 389 and still be looking for that daily bottom to be in. But on the weekly time frame, I said, be careful. We haven't consolidated in about 6 weeks, and we could easily drop from the time weekly consolidation started. We could easily drop about 12% on the S&P 500 and still be in a weekly uptrend. And what I said, if you recall from my video last week, I said HEXO, as long as we close these weeks over the 10-week moving average, I don't care intra-week if we dip below it, but I want to see a candle close over 21 cents again this week. And look at this, we've already closed 3 candles in a row above it. So if we close this weekly candle above 21 cents, expect some fireworks soon. We're still bullish on the MACD and the stochastic as well. And I'm expecting a massive, massive move over the next couple of weeks and months, specifically into November and into those midterm elections. But a lot of our names are trending back to their EMA 26s. We have a ton of names that are already doing so, mostly in the US. But personally, I think that HEXO is going to be one of the laggards, and that would bring us up to around 42 cents. So from current levels, that would be a move of about 109%. Mark my words, HEXO will join the rest of the pack. HEXO isn't going anywhere. HEXO is going to be a top leading company in this space for many, many years to come, and very well could be the reigning champ, right? Gonna join the accolades as a Tyson of the worlds, right? It's really going to be, in my opinion, the epitome of just greatness, and the share price doesn't show it. I know a lot of people are probably saying, why didn't this move the stock? Well, the whole sector's down, right? Look at CGC down 7%. We have SPY, a ton of weakness in SPY. Even USMJ is kind of stalling out a little bit here. So again, the whole sector needs to reverse, right? But once this thing reverses, we could even see CPG partnership. We know that they said edibles would be coming to the SQDC soon, at some point between between April 28th and the end of summer. So the end of summer would technically be, toward the end of September. So we could potentially see even more products flood the market in the edible space. And we know that they have this new partnership with Tyson 2.0, ton of new products that'll be coming from that as well. We know that they signed the deal with canned beverages as well. So I think there's going to be a ton of licensing partnerships coming down the pipeline that we haven't even considered yet. And then you have to factor in, a partnership with topicals and things like that, right, through the 48 North, right? We know that they specifically bought that for the use of topicals and the potential for CPG partnerships. So there could even be 2 more CPG partnerships coming down the line. And, people, when I say that, people say, oh, he's just full of hopium and he's, a permabull and he just keeps filling people with hopium. Well, no, it's it could happen. And then things that we don't even think could happen. Like this, right? How many people, I don't know how many people I woke up this morning and saw this news, said, oh, I didn't see that coming, right? There's going to be a lot of that, right? So get used to it. There's going to be a lot more of things you didn't see coming, mark my words. See, we have quite a few people still with us after 15 minutes. Going to try to keep this stream short today, but we'll go through the chat here. So what did I miss? Well, we'll try to keep it as short as possible, and you can go back and you can rewatch it. I just got here too. Yeah, you bet. I would encourage going back and watching it. But yeah, this is great news. Obviously, HEXO, this is just a testament to the amount of attention that HEXO is really garnering in terms of celebrities. Like I said, we have Mike Tyson's brand. We had an appearance here of RZA's hat from the 2018 Wu-Tang appearance on Tiny Desk. Look at his hat. Wearing a HEXO hat, right? We've got Tilray partnering with HEXO. Like, what more could you need? But people can't get by the share price, right? Oh, 20 cents. What a crappy company, right? Well, don't look at the share price. That is not indicative of a company's value, right? That's why we use different valuation metrics like price to earnings and all these different metrics to, value a company, because the share price is like one of the least things that depicts a company's value, because things get extended to the upside, things get extended to the downside. I mean, case in point, Tilray was at $300 and then dropped to $3, right? Does that mean Tilray's a bad company? No, it just means that the share price gets bid up like crazy and gets extended to the downside like crazy because humans are emotional and they don't think I see so many people today saying, oh, I sold my thing because the market's panicking. So you made buying and selling decisions based on emotion, is what you just said, right? And they're like, well, basically, yeah. I make buying and selling decisions based on logic and research. I don't feel a type of way and then go and make buying and selling decisions. That is just a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, if you want to do that, power to you. But I operate differently. I don't feel emotions anymore. If we get more dips, I'll buy more HEXO if we get to 15 cents USD. Do I think we're going to get there? Absolutely not. And as long as we hold 18 cents on HEXO, we're still in a weekly uptrend. So we have the low, high, higher low, and higher high. We're scouting a higher low compared to 18 cents. So again, like I said in my videos prior, don't be surprised if we pull back another 10%. Same with Tilray. Tilray could pull back another 10% and still be in a weekly uptrend, just looking for a higher low compared to 317, right? So again, if we pull back another 5-10%, drop your emotional whininess and just realize that it could happen, right? And if it does, it's just a buying opportunity, in my opinion. So like I said, we're starting to see signs of MJ picking up again. The MJ market is heating up, no pun intended, and mark my words, into the fall and into the beginning of next year, we're easily going to be back up to that 40. I have a price target on HEXO over the next few months of about $1.10, which would be a back test of EMA 12 on the monthly. And then ultimately, over the next maybe 6 months, I think we could get up to EMA 26, would bring us back to around the $3 mark USD. Am I 100% correct all the time? No. But am I prepared for all scenarios? Yes, right? I'm prepared if we go down to 15 cents. I've got a 6-figure cash position. I've been hedging the S&P 500. If you've seen my video, my live stream from yesterday, I mentioned that I took a short position on the S&P 500 on August 16th. Look where we topped, August 16th. All the POW group members will vouch for it. But I said, not too late to take a short position on the S&P 500. And then here we are down almost 10% from the time I called that out. And, now I'm able to cash that in. That's about a 20... If you look at SPXS, I entered it here. So on that entry, I'm up about 27%. I still haven't sold it. I might even actually sell some today. But I took a short position, and now I'm up almost 30% on that SPXS. And now over that same time period, how much is HEXO down? So if we go to the daily time frame from the 16th, HEXO's down 26%. So now I'm up 27% on my SPXS, and now I can enter HEXO about 25% cheaper, right? So up 25% gains. Now I can take that extra 25% of the money I invested as the gains on top of that, of my initial investment, and now I can buy even more beaten down MJ with it, right? So that's the power of hedging. That's the power of not just, going all in on one MJ stock and being, as much as we're fans of MJ, you have to be realistic, right? And going all in or lump sum or, only buying MJ is just not a good idea, right? If you want to do that, I mean, by all means, I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But there's other ways to, if you have an addiction to hitting I made this joke the other day. If you have an addiction to hitting the buy button, well, consider SPXS, right? It's an inverse leverage. So when SPY goes down 1%, this goes up 3%. Because it's a 3x inverse leverage. So if you're addicted to hitting the buy button all the time, consider buying this ETF, which is an inverse. So if you buy it, you profit if the market goes down, right? So if you're addicted to hitting the buy button, then that's a potential option for you. I can't wait. I can't wait to try it either. These are gonna be awesome. I haven't tried any of the Tyson 2.0, so I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, why did Mike Tyson pick HEXO? Where are all the bankruptcy fudsters at? Where's all the doomsdayers? Yeah. Go back under your rock, right? Living under a rock, couldn't friggin' understand, wouldn't know the news or wouldn't know the truth if it slapped them in the face. I believe MJ is going to be the next boom too. I totally agree on that. Just requires patience. Yep, like Warren Buffett said, the stock market's a mechanism for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. And most people can't wait 5 minutes, let alone 5 days or 5 years, right? Want instant gratification all the time. HEXO, MJ is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's going to take some time, but you could potentially never have to work another day in your life, and same with your family. This is generational wealth we're talking about here. Hey Rod, when we lost 25 cents higher low, does that negate the bounce or is it still underway? No, most important thing for me, John, is the weekly uptrend. So as I mentioned, as long as 18 cents holds, we're still in a weekly uptrend. Same with Tilray, as long as 317 holds, we're still in a weekly uptrend. So I'm not worried about the short-term intra-week volatility. As long as we close over the 10-week moving average as well at 21 cents, that's going to look good this week. I'm not worried about a drop below 20 cents. Or below 21 cents, 10-week moving average. As long as we close the week over 21 cents, and the main thing is we maintain that 18 cents. If we lose 18 cents, then we're probably heading to 15 cents, right? And we would lose the uptrend. Patience I got, you bet. Not a lot of people have it. That's why I'm thankful I invested in the real estate market early on, right? I bought a couple real estate properties about 7 years ago, and one of my friends bought a property in the East Coast, and in 3 years it over doubled, $200,000 house into $400,000. That's why I like about real estate. It teaches people patience. You're not getting in and out of positions all the time. You're not selling your house because you're seeing the market potentially on the fringe of a downturn, right? You just plan accordingly, and it teaches you patience, and that's where I made the most of my wealth. Was from real estate, right? I had no idea that the market was going to completely boom like that. But again, if you're only looking at MJ stocks or you're only looking at tech stocks or crypto or whatever it is, you're going to miss the opportunities that come your way, right? So you don't want to over diversify, but you also don't want to put all your eggs in one basket either. Added more HEXO today, have more than 1,000 now. Nice. I'm in HEXO for the long run. You bet. Tyson on POW would be dope. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, we'll try to get HEXO on here first. And again, they won't even let me interview them. How is it that a company, right? I've got other MJ companies that will let me, they're eager, they're foaming at the mouth to get more publicity and to try to get the word out. HEXO won't even let me interview them, right? Why is that? Because they're growing too fast, too quickly, right? They have stakeholders like Tilray that got to get involved first. They want to keep the price low because they need to get, the Wall Street bankers in, right? And they want to slow HEXO down too. But yeah, it's a case in point of a company growing too fast, too quickly. And how impressive is it that HEXO won't even accept an interview from me? They didn't do an interview for a whole year through those transitions from new CEOs out of SSL and, Scott Cooper and then Charlie Bowman. And, they haven't done interviews barely at all. They're finally starting to again. And they have the most attention and they're signing all these deals with Tilray and, Molson Coors and Tyson. And, it's absolute, some people are HEXO needs to take a lesson and learn how to do interviews and interact with the public. It's like, no, I don't think that's it. I think it's all orchestrated, right? There's a method to the madness. There's a reason why. And I think that reason is because the market makers are trying to hold HEXO back. And if you haven't realized by now, the whole world's a stage, right? The price is good for me. I just buy more every week. Yeah, exactly. And there's no right or wrong way to do anything. You can just, buy every paycheck, buy a little bit. Doesn't even matter what the price is, right? At any purchase, like 25 cents, 20 cents, doesn't matter. If you look at HEXO in 5-10 years from now, you're going to look back at these prices and be like, you're going to laugh at it, right? So what's the difference of a few pennies on the grand scheme of things, right? Cheers, David. HEXO is on sale. This is a very attractive price in my opinion. Yeah, exactly what I just said, right? Who cares if it's 25 cents, 20 cents, 23 cents? It's all cheap AF. And if we go back to $3, just imagine what your HEXO bag would be worth, or even $10 or new all-time highs, right? I'm buying if HEXO pulls back more. Great buy. Absolutely. Well, like I said, I'll buy more if it gets to 15 cents because I've got 50,000 shares of HEXO. I don't really need any more, but I will add a bit more. That's an offer I can't refuse at 15 cents if we do get there. But yeah, honestly, if we pull back a cent, 2 cents, who really cares, right? If HEXO goes back to $10, are you going to be worried about buying at 23 cents or 20 cents, right? I don't think it will go down to 15 cents on HEXO. Yeah, I hope you're right. I learned one thing long ago in financial markets: never say never. And what I think doesn't matter, right? It's just being prepared for all scenarios because anything's possible. The only guarantee is there's no guarantees. Holding strong on HEXO, you bet. Patience, patience. From the Forbes article, the partnership began when Chad Bronstein, president and chairman of Tyson 2.0, was introduced to HEXO CEO Charlie Bowman by Adam Arviv, a mutual friend and board member of the Bronstein's other company. Yeah, see, the whole world's a stage, folks. And Charlie Bowman's from America, right? He's an American. Like, I just wish I could enlighten people, right? Like, when everybody was saying that HEXO was going to go bankrupt, I was like, you don't understand. You really don't understand. But you will in time, right? Everybody, I didn't understand either. But after, a decade, 15 years in this industry, learning finance, JP Morgan was fined $1 billion for manipulating gold and silver. If they're manipulating gold and silver, precious metals, believe me, there's manipulation going on in every corner of this financial market that we're in, right? And MJ, an illegal substance in the U.S. still, you better believe that there's manipulation going on, right? And they're all working together behind the scenes, right? But they already pretty much know who the winners and losers are going to be because they picked them, right? The Wall Street bankers knew who the winners were going to be in the tech boom because they picked them. They were the ones putting billions of dollars into them, right? They're saying HEXO is the only company that would take Mike Tyson. I doubt that. And Tilray's working with HEXO now, so it's technically, HEXO and Tilray. But yeah, Mike Tyson, I mean, whether you like him or hate him, I don't have any biased, I don't have any hard feelings against him. I mean, obviously the guy, bit a piece of a guy's ear off. I forget who it was, but that was before my time, really. And we're human. Like, who cares, right? It's like, this guy's an icon. He was one of the best to ever play the sport, and the publicity alone, regardless if it's negative publicity, any publicity is good publicity, right? And this is going to be. I don't think this is going to be the breaking point. This isn't what is going to, make HEXO, a global brand and, a global top 5 global MJ company. But it's a step in the right direction, right? And it goes to show you that No one's even saw this coming, right? So many people are saying, oh, HEXO's going bankrupt and this, that, and the other, and the share price is so low. Well, share price is so low, Mike Tyson's company doesn't seem to give a shit about price, right? Because they know that share price doesn't matter. And they got more money than they know what to do with. They're not worried about 20 cents. While most retail investors are like, oh my God, 20 cents, or I'd love to see it back up at 40 cents and 50 cents. Do you think these multimillionaires and billionaires are worried about a 50 cents HEXO? No, they're thinking $50 HEXO, right? They're thinking $50 plus, right? They don't care. And I don't care, right? Once you start to swim with the whales, stop swimming with the fish, right? Learn to swim with the whales and realize that this opportunity is way bigger than any of us could even imagine. Like, I don't think we can even fathom how big this opportunity really is in MJ, right? But again, people are very naive. People don't see past their own nose sometimes. People can't wait 5 days, let alone 5 years or 5 months, right? Case in point, they mentioned the CPG partner would be released in the coming weeks, but it didn't. But they did say the products would hit the SQDC in Quebec at some point between now and the end of summer. That's what they said. Hopefully, they said they hope to have it by the end of summer. So that tells me that it might not be by the end of summer, and people couldn't even wait 3 months, right? People are so frustrated. It's just like, dude, like if you can't wait 3 months, you're probably in the wrong industry, right? Like in 3 years, the MJ industry isn't even going to be close to mass adoption. It's not even going to be close to critical mass, right? It's going to take probably 10 to 20 years for MJ to really peak and hit critical mass, right? Because of the stigma, because of the propaganda that is being shoved down everybody's throats, right? Because of the decade-long, stigma and propaganda that's been influenced on this industry, even though it's medicine and alcohol's poison. But again, who has the most to lose? Big alcohol and tobacco companies. The companies that sell poison are getting disrupted by companies that are selling medicine, right? So they need to figure out how to slow the industry down and how that they can get their piece of the pie. Why do you think Molson Coors took a stake in HEXO? Why do you think Altria, British American Tobacco, taking positions in Cron and OGI? But why are all these companies taking positions in Canadian companies? Why did Constellation Brands, the maker of Corona beer, take a majority stake, now owns about 60% of Canopy, right? The writing's on the wall. Thanks, Rod, you bet. Wow, that's awesome. HEXO is that quiet storm. Yeah, it really is. And they don't need to impress anybody. They know they're going to be a top 5 global MJ company, regardless of if they come on POW and do interviews or if they go on, they got nothing to prove. They know that they're the best. Charlie Bowman even said it himself. He said, if Tilray acquires us down the road, they will acquire the best MJ company on the planet, right? Truer words have never been spoken. They don't need to impress anybody. You don't need to impress anybody when you're the king, right? When you're the number one and, you haven't even got started yet. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see what happens over the next few years. And again, the mainstream media will tell you everything, use everything under the book to try to get you to capitulate and fold them. I care about your portfolios. I care about you as human beings. The Wall Street bankers that should frankly be behind bars, in my opinion, they don't give a damn about any of us, right? They want us to stay poor, right? It's like the WEF. You will own nothing and be happy, right? Screw that. Big middle finger to you. I'll do me, thanks, right? I'll look after number one. Ain't no one gonna look after number one but you and me, right? So forget about all this mainstream media BS. Stop listening to the idiots and the low IQ people on the internet saying HEXO's going bankrupt because they clearly don't have a brain, right? And if you just look at what's happening, you will realize, if you have any IQ at all, that HEXO is being positioned for global domination, right? Other channels are like, don't buy, and it's going to be a reverse split, and they're in debt. I'm totally not listening to that nonsense. Well, they could reverse split. They already have the approval, but now they have an extension until January 25th to regain compliance. So they have essentially 5 months to get above $1, easily doable, right? And then they only need to trade for above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days, and then they'll be good. And they have no debt now. That the debt's been solved. Again, they don't do any research. They they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, right? It's like, geez, if you guys just did 5 minutes of Google searching, you could realize, but they don't. They just look at what mainstream media is saying, or they go on Reddit and believe everything that they see, right? Like, critical thinking is that's the bad. The good thing about technology is it's making our lives easier, but the bad thing about technology is it's making our lives easier because people that have no critical thinking, they can't think for themselves. They need to go online and find like 2 or 3 people on YouTube that tell them what to do, and then they do it. It's like, no, like, use your brain, critical thinking, do some research, you know. HEXO stock price has definitely been pinned to the mat. Obviously, some sign of some big money is coming in. You bet. They need lower prices, right? People have to think long term and not that quick buck. Yeah, exactly. But we live in the instant gratification world of 2022, right? So most people can't wait 5 days, let alone, well, I say most people can't even wait 5 minutes, right? What's the attention span of the average person these days with Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and what, like 3 minutes? I'd say we're pretty much close to goldfish territory now, right? Average share price down to 22 cents, 2,500 shares, slowly accumulating. Go HEXO. Very nice. Great average. We will be laughing all the way to the bank, guys. Yep. If you have the patience, everybody's going to look back and laugh at how ridiculous these prices were. Not just HEXO, but MJ as a whole. But yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that HEXO is going to be a long-term winner in this space. They want our shares, drag it as low as possible so we can fold. No way, man. Exactly. Amen, brother. Swim with the whales. You bet. Vancouver, Canada. Welcome, welcome. I was just there visiting a friend. Loved it. Preach. Alberta. Yeah, that's my current hometown. I live in Edmonton. Love it here. All right. Thanks for joining the stream, everybody. Thanks for your comments and contributions. Always a pleasure. Love coming on and interacting with you all. Going to end it there. Kept the stream pretty short today, so that was a win. But wins all around, right? You wouldn't know it by the share price. But again, share price is not indicative of a company's value. And, you know, just take it as a blessing in disguise. It's more time to accumulate. HEXO isn't going to be pinned down here like this forever. And this is more proof of that. Hey, Rod, how do you find who is buying the HEXO stock? I mean, from the big guys. Fintel. Just Google Fintel Institutional Ownership HEXO. You can do the same thing with Tilray too. Gatesville, Georgia. Welcome, welcome. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Wow, I'm excited for the future. Smash the like if you guys are excited. Go and end it there. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Pow Group. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this. Were you excited? Were you surprised? I'm excited. I was surprised, but this won't be the last time we see something like this, right? We'll see some things that we expect, but there's going to be a ton. I'm telling you, this industry has so much growth ahead of it, it's not even funny. All right, have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.